Good evening, everyone. This is April Cobb with Diversity in Education, and we also have unmute, girl. It's been that long, you don't even know how to unmute yourself.
One moment. Denise Thomas is also with Diversity, Equity, and Education, as well as Sunshine Education Coalition. We just, we throw everything on the screen so y'all can see us.
That's what you're gonna say in order to cover it up.
Right.
Yeah.
I went in there, I was like, what? Who am I today? But right.
Who is it?
I don't even know. We gonna have so many monikers. I have no idea. But welcome everybody. It is the month of April, and we just wanted to say welcome back. We're back again. Well, and as April, there are less than 30 days of school left. How you feel about that?
That's all I can give is breathing. And correct that for parents that may get confused with that. Less than 30 school days. She didn't say like less than 30 days, meaning like 30 days kind of
right.
Less than 30 school days. You have to put everything into,
into perspective. That's correct. Yeah. That's correct. Okay. So with less,
but I'm excited about it. I'm very exhausted daily going in because it's like this has been the most challenging school year in my career. And I don't say those words lightly. It's simply because the kids that they're currently working with this particular school year, they are that group of students when COVID hit. So the amount of skill sets that were adding on to the loss, not created the loss. For me, it was adding on to the academic loss many of them already had. And then the lack of allowing us to pivot, not only in saying we're going to allow kids to, re-enter the educational environment and be capable of learning, with the understanding that COVID was a real thing. It just genuinely didn't happen. So therefore we ignored the mental health, and we continue to ignore it. Outside of, in theory, it's just not being addressed. So I will say that I cannot wait until May, what is that, the 25th or the 26th?
May 26th.
May 26th to arrive, and I'm ready to take that true waiting to exhale, breathe in and breathe out. And I'm excited just for that part, just the end point. I've never been so excited in my life.
Absolutely. And on top of what you're saying, I also think that apathy on the part of the children is a real thing. And the struggle, I believe, is so much harder because they are the COVID babies. They are the ones who, because of COVID, they knew they got passed on. So a lot of them were administratively placed as opposed to academically placed. So their mindset is like, well, they just pass me anyway. So it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter, how badly I perform or how bad my behavior is. Everybody has pity and sympathy on me. So I'm just going to move on. But what we fail to realize, not us as teachers, but, outside factors are failing to realize that you just can't pass them on without skills. They truly, they have taken like a gap year, and they just truly have lost a year, I think almost 2 full years of what they need to become successful. And I mean, I've seen everything from poor handwriting, poor grammar, unable to write a decent a sentence, unable to read with true cognition, true understanding. And that's just, it's just rough. And I know, I already had to sit down and talk with my principal. I said, I'm gonna just tell you like this. I already know these scores gonna be low. I know that. I mean, despite every part of the effort that I've put in altogether, I already feel just by looking at the first progress monitoring test, the second one, if I get 20% of them to hit goal, I feel I've accomplished something. And I'm not going for my normal 45, 55%. I'm not even running for the numbers because I don't see them as a reality. And that's just being 100% honest.
Just a quick hello to Alexander Rivera out there watching with us. Hello. And for the others that I cannot see, Welcome. It's been a while. Denise and I have been self-preserving for the better choice of description. While we have been on our hiatus from diversity and equity in education, but we were reminded that the work needed to get back in place, in position, because individuals like saying the verbiage that we used to watch you all's live and where you been. So it was like, oh, okay, we're coming back. So our ultimate goal is to stay consistent on this new journey. It's definitely gonna be new.
Yes, exactly. And you know, we have been out in the community and doing a lot of work with our kids. So that also takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, a lot of when you're working with children, especially outside of school, you know, there's a lot of moving parts. So you have to do a lot of work, which does consume our time. But we are back. We're trying to, as April says, stay consistent. And April had to keep me. You know, that's one thing I love about April, because she keeps me in line, because we were been gone for such a long period of time. The list of topics was like this long. April was like, I need you to take that number and do this, right? so I am
I
trying
was
my
like,
best.
this get ready to be a 6 hour show, not
We
today.
finished around 10:30.
Literally, you all. She had Denise. What was it like? About
It
13
was, it was
topics.
10 to 12 topics, yeah, to talk about. Yeah, but
Now
yeah,
she's still trying to say 10 to 12. No, it was either the 12 or the 10. It's no in between. And I was like, yeah, she look, snatch her back, pull it back, man.
yeah, yeah,
Pull it back, pull it in, pull it
right.
in, pull it
I'm
in.
sorry. I had to, because there was so many things going on, and not only on locally on the local level, but also on the national level, and all of them affecting education. Because for some reason, you know, they always dump on us. So you know, that's just what it is. So I'm gonna try and keep it, you know, like she said, 4 to 5 topics. You know, because everybody needs to jump in and voice their opinion. And we want to hear from you as well. We love hearing from you. What do you think about certain things? So I guess what we'll do is we'll start off with just, let's start off with what's immediate, what's coming up right now in the school year. Okay, we're talking about assessment time. It's testing time. Are your children prepared? Do you even know when the test dates are? So what we wanted to do was share with you just a few. Just set yourself in your mind that from now until the end of the year, we're going to be testing. That's the key right there. And what I did is I pulled, I think, Bianca, I don't know if you have the dates up. There's a calendar that's available that you all can look at that has all of the testing dates. The 2022, 2023 statewide test assessment schedule. Oh, thank you so much. There it is, right? And what you'll see, it's 3 pages long. And what you see is what applies specifically to your particular student. So whether they're in grade 3 all the way to grade 10, they have the retakes up there. They have the PSAT and SAT information on there. I know for us in middle school, we have, in fact, starting right now, the writing assessment for grades 4 through 8 started April 3rd. It runs all the way through the 21st. The ELA and math, we have that in what's called the Progress Monitoring 3. That's what I was talking about the other day. That runs from May 1st to June 2nd. Then we have the science assessment, science for 5th and 8th grade, and that's May 8th through the 19th. Then we have the EOC for civics, is April 17th through May 26th. And remember, April 17th starts tomorrow. So they can start testing as soon as they walk in the door tomorrow. And then we have the Algebra 1 from May 1st to May 26th. So you see, from now till the end of the school year is nothing but testing. So our question to you is, what are you doing to prepare your children for these final set of assessments? What's happening at your school, April? Are they doing anything outside of their regular school day?
So, like you, at your site, we are preparing to do our Saturday boot camps. We have a couple of days for math and ELA. I don't know the ELA schedule, but I know for math, for the one session that I'm able to attend is April the 29th. So, again, it's very important that if your child's school has created space or opportunities for additional support, you know, to get that extra push for preparation for the assessment, sacrifice whatever it is, unless it's somebody in the funeral or a hospital. if it's, if it's, because when I tell you, my students' test scores have been like I don't even know what to say. Like, I even did some trivial way of testing my students. I gave them an assessment review. You all, I used the same questions as the test. I didn't even change the numbers. My face should tell it all. I wanted to just take a couple of children and shake them good. Because I'm saying to myself, this proves to me you all not even reading the questions. And when we're going over the the review, you're just being a copy bot. So with that being said, I don't even know what to expect when it comes down to the true test. Now, what I will say is I will not beat myself up about it anymore as it relates to the preparation for the test. Because number one, I know for a fact I have taught the material. I know for a fact I have giving you tools and resources and efforts for you to study the material. I know for a fact we have used online computer resources in order for you to help retain the material. Because I know in most cases when you go home, it's a competition between sports, home life, community life, and studying just is not, in the equation, unfortunately. Eventually, I'm sure it will develop to that, and that's my prayer, but it's just not there. So I'm done beating myself up. Whatever the results are, it is what it is. But it is definitely not a reflection of me. It is not in this situation here. I know for a fact when you had the same questions as the review and still less than 50% of that right there, I was like, I have thrown the stone. You know, I used to take the rock and throw the rock across the water and then skip. That's what they did for me. They skip. They said, you know what?
And I'm gonna. While I want you to look at the comments too, and I'm gonna address something that you also said. Okay, just like you said, the kids do have busy schedules as well. They have, sports and things like that. Now, I think one of the comments was that, they're always testing. Well, the kids always play sports too. So they have to have a balance in their life. That's the bottom line. I mean, I know football season seems to go from the times they walk into school in August, and then they go. They take 2 seconds off to break for basketball season, a little bit of baseball, and then right back right now they're doing flag football. So for us to say that, okay, well, testing doesn't stop, so the sports doesn't stop either. So at some point in time, we need to be able to say, hey, listen, the children need balance. They need to be able to balance these two things out, because this is just the way it is. And then the factors are, do you see how the graduation requirements are also changing? So because graduation requirements are changing, it is imperative that they pass these tests, because like I said before, they're not going to walk unless they are both doing math and reading, but especially reading on grade level. They must be able to do that. You're sending people out into society that are going to do jobs. Like, for example, like the one nursing program where they give them this fake nursing certificate. I want none of them people stick me. Because I don't listen. You ain't trying to kill me, and you can't measure out them millimeters and stuff. So we need to have people who are functioning in society and understand every single word they read, decode and break down things like that. So, Ava, what are some of the comments that are coming in?
Push your own button, sorry. So Alicia says that it feels like testing never stopped. It didn't. This school year, it did never stop, because you have so many school sites that were trying to make sure that they were capable of capturing as many data points as they could, so that there was never a point where it was just dependent upon one set of data. So for our school site, you had the quarterlies, you have the PMAs, you have the common assessments, you have the iReady, you have teacher created assessments. So it did never stop. And to go in alignment with what you were saying, Denise, to add too, because I know a lot of times we say sports, but that goes along with when they are in the band programs, when they are a part of these different clubs and organizations, that too have to be tabled when it comes to doing some of this groundwork, when it comes to developing these skill sets that these kids just lost. So sports, and we're going to start saying sports and the other curricular activities, extracurricular activities.
That's good
because
too.
Again, one thing about it is those things right there are good. They add to the quality of a child. But without these foundational skills in math, look, arithmetic, and reading, writing, arithmetic, if that's not there, we already see what is happening in education in Florida. We can no longer deny it. Someone has decided that they're going to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, and they have proven that they can. It's no longer he can't, she can't. They have proven that they can. So you best believe they are going to stand firm when they say if your child did not meet XYZ, they will not walk across that stage, because we do not have enough individuals to advocate for all children, even though their child may be succeeding in the education plight. They just won't do it. And that's so unfortunate, but I digress because we see it every day.
Yeah.
I know I've talked about certain things, some purple in the face. So now I've now developed my new shade of almost albino, and I'm okay with that. I went back to just
exactly, because I mean, like you said, I mean, as you see these bills are passing through, everything passes through. First of all, just go run back when we right now walk around with guns without permits, so that passed through. They up there talking about getting rid of the fraternities and sororities for HBCUs and for any college campus. If there's a black fraternity and sorority, let me clarify that, on any campus, gone. So there are things that even though we say, oh, that can't possibly happen, yes, it's happening. And so you understand, if you're not be cognizant of what's going on, you're not aware of what's going on, it just starts slipping away. You want to know why your child can't do this and can't do that, or why my child. Don't wait till your child gets to 12th grade and then you realize really they can't graduate. Here's a piece of paper and there you go. But no, don't do that. You need to be well aware. And again, just like April said, there's not enough of our voices that are out there loud enough championing these causes. That's why it's so important to vote, because you got to vote the right people in and vote the wrong people out. Because if we're not voting the people that we need in to speak on our behalf, or if you ain't getting up there and running and voting, or running on behalf of the people, what's the point? And let's just throw in there while we're here, early voting for us in Hillsborough County. Only three names, districts, 1, 2, and 3, 6 little names on the ballot, right? April 17th, which is tomorrow, it begins early voting. Please go out there, make change happen. Really make changes happen. We're seeing so many things happening in our communities. Just make it happen. That's the one thing I could say, just as an aside, real quick. Now,
hold on, I want to drop a nugget about that overall voting situation.
Go ahead.
We have to be very careful in allowing one group of people or a family to monopolize our political presence in our county. Is our county? In our city. Yes, city. Yes, city. Because one thing for certain and two things for sure. If me and Denise were sisters and our mother told us to do X, Y, Z, and even if we may not agree with it necessarily, we're going to lean more towards what it is that she's saying based upon her experience. And that goes without saying in this situation where we have a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law. And one is in a position of where we want to support that individual to make sure that their vision or their plight of work is being, completed to where they want it to be completed. If you think for one moment they're not going to agree in situations where they may not necessarily want to agree to make sure that that person's vision is carried out, you're delusional. We cannot release that much power to one family. I'm sorry. It would be insanity. And that's my say.
And there you go. What did you say? And there it is. There it is. Okay. So like I said, vote your heart. First of all, do your research, then vote your heart. Make sure you know what you're doing. Okay. Which leads us to. We still talking about our school stuff, because I can always go back and run back on.
No, that's good.
That's good. Okay.
And notice nobody has to slander or drag nobody's name and none of that. You just give your position on things, because I hate that politics just gets so nasty and ugly. Mm-hmm. Everybody's entitled to their own position of thinking as it relates to what they feel would be best as it serves them and their families and their community. but that don't mean you have to, like, the number of mailers that I received that was so, oh my God.
They were horrible. They were horrible.
Like they were really bad.
I looked at them and I put them right in the shredder. Just I can't even have that negativity in my household. My household is my household is cleansed of evil negativity, so I can't bring that into the house. And as I look at it, I'm like, oh no. Only reason why I bring it into shredder is because it has my name on it. I like, nah, I do not need that mail outside. I need to shred that through before it goes in the trash. But just running back real quick. So again with education, the one thing that we noticed last week was this proposal right now. Again, like you were saying, April, things that go through the house. Things we can't stop. So they're talking about this 12-month school. I cracked up so hard when I saw that. Now, are you saying we need to be in school for 12 months as opposed to cutting me my check and figuring out my money for the 10.5-month schedule? And that's a whole nother. I see you leaning back.
You didn't trigger me. I just don't trigger me. Because here it is. Yep. I earned the highly effective funding.
Again.
They took my money and split it into two checks. And one of the checks I don't get until after the end of this school year closed out. How is that possible?
And then the tax.
How do they even get away with doing that? Other counties got their money in one lump sum. Here go your money. You earned it. Here I am. We're receiving the money June 29th. Make it make sense. How you hold it? Now the state don't have the money. That money has been released to our district. Mm-hmm. Please don't release no more money, my money ever to the district. I'm sorry, because that makes no sense to me. And then people want to sit in the backdrop on the outside looking in, as if we're some type of lions or lionesses when we respond to say this is why we are so enraged with what is happening in education. You earn highly effective by the state. That means I met the requirements to receive extra funding. I met it. Mm-hmm. I got one check 4 months after school started, and I don't get the other one till after this school year is over. Yes. Mm-hmm. And other districts throughout the state of Florida just cut those people their check. I work at a transformation school. It was decided for me, either I take the transformation money or I take the highly effective money. But I work at both. I work at the same school. Mm-hmm. So they didn't want to give. They don't want to seem like they were layering. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just.
And then while they sit on my money and it's gaining interest for them, why? And then you're gonna take taxes on my money. I mean, I'm not.
Mail me my check next time. Mail it to me.
Yeah.
Let me just do the 1099. Let me pay. Let me worry about that at the end when I file my taxes.
Right. Because
no.
So this is what I'm saying.
We're still working under a contract that really don't exist. So we have went quiet about the fact that yes, the magistrate came back and said, yes, the district need to cut the check. In so many words.
And then the question is when, because we see on the paperwork that we've received, we're not too sure if it's sometime in the beginning of May or the end of May. There's like all these little interesting details in there. That's like I just don't know when. I know you need your money, but I just don't know when I'm gonna give you your money. And is the money that I promised you? And then the fine print is real funny too, because the fine print is like, well, if you have a master's degree in this
foolishness.
Then we'll give you the additional funds. But if you have a master's, but it's not in the field that you currently teach, we can't cut you no more money. But
and then it goes back to this. Yeah. And then that type of language should have never been allowed.
No.
That should have never been allowed. Because once again, you're eliminating people from getting what they earned.
Correct.
Not what they deserve, what they earned. And I think the reason why we have went because they want people to finish these next 30-some days.
Yeah. They don't want to walk away.
Legs.
Put the legs. So come on. Yes. What?
Yes.
Yeah. Come on.
Take off.
Take flight.
They don't want the people to take off.
Because they give us the information and they're like, what? You say, what about my money? Because you know what? A lot of people sitting there looking at their check like this. You know what? I got enough sick leave to just ride this out to the end. I know I personally got enough sick leave to ride it out to the very end. I'm like, you know
Because
what?
right now it's about self-preservation. It is. It is without
And mental
question.
health days. And because them mental health days was real. I saw you took some and you saw I took some. And very shortly, we're gonna take some together. So
and then we have, hey Gretchen, it's been a while. Dr. Teal CV Wright Lou says they do not read. Yep, they don't. We we can, first of all, when you give them the papers and they've been the same type of assignment since August, and they say, what I do?
Right, what I need to do?
The format is the same. I keep the instructions the same. I try to keep them alignment with the same type of instructions that would be on a set. Me and you must never part. I'm like, oh God.
Look, you saw the signs I started putting up in my classroom.
Yes, just stop talking. I love it. You just like,
I got to the point where I'm literally like this. I said, I just go by the colors. Read the orange sign, the blue sign, the green sign. Bruh, did you read the instructions? Did you read it, bro? Because I'm done explaining to you. We have been in here more than 150 plus days of school, and you still asking me after I've modeled and gone over everything and done a full, and I've put you in groups, and I said 3 before me. Don't ask me a question until you've asked 3 other people within your group, and you still gonna come back and ask me why I need to do.
And you know what's so crazy? I do the 3 before me too now. But when the 3 tired, the 3 like, she just went over. I'll be like, the 3 are tired. The 3 sick of them. The 3 tired.
The 3 sick of them. The 3, and if I have one group in the morning where your homeroom classes, I was that class where people are strolling all late, all kinds of late. I got one kid that comes in 10 minutes before the period is over consistently every day. Man, his group hate him. That when I tell you, the group just like as soon as they come in, so what are we doing now? Can I get a pencil? They're like, we tired. We gotta explain this whole thing to you. You should just come to class on time. Now they're checking each other.
Yes,
they get to the point where they are checking each other. They're like, dude, don't you? And look, what little baby talk about? Miss, can I get another group? Because I can't do this no more. I need another group. When
the kids ready to go,
responsible one.
They ready to go.
Yeah, my baby.
And that's the best thing, because at that point I just sit there and be like,
now you know how I feel.
Now they tired.
Yeah.
We also have Gretchen saying that the rent is too high. Listen, Gretchen. Unfortunately, the new buzzword this last year and a half has been affordable housing. And what's so crazy about it is the buzzword is affordable housing, but there is none in Tampa. And I'm not laughing to be like, it's funny. It's that's all you can do at this point. When you building $200,000 and $300,000 in the hood.
Sis, it's a $500,000, $500,000 house in Belmont Heights. I'm like, what? I'm just waiting for Becky to come through with the dog and walk the dog down the street. Because that's what first time I knew West Tampa was going to get gentrified. When I saw sis jogging with a dog and the sun was going down. I said, sis, do you know where you are? Do you know where you are?
I wouldn't be doing that.
Do you know where you are? So, but $500,000 list price in Belmont Heights. And as I go around, look, because I've told you about the houses being sold on my block. Look, as I go around, well, obviously, I need to talk to the construction dude because I need some light stuff fixed in my house. But anyway, look, the one house looks like they put in some money in that house. The other one, just like you said, April, some stucco over there in the frame, and we're gonna get ready to sell this sucker for $300 plus. I'm like, I want to be outside.
And see, that's the sad part, that the people don't get to see what those houses used to look like. That stucco is just
the plaster and paint make a devil asleep. That's
the death of the house. Because all it does is it creates moisture in between those 2 layers.
Correct.
And that's when you get the mold, and it's anyway.
But those housing prices are astronomical. How dare they say that they're creating affordable housing? That's affordable housing for who? The affordable housing is basically for them thousands of people who filled up the Raymond James Stadium for the Taylor Swift concert for 3 whole straight days. 3 straight days. I'm trying to figure out where all these people coming from. I mean, because they sure don't live in Tampa. They on the outskirts, or they flew in for the concert. But
Yes.
my thing is this. That's the target audience that they built in this affordable. Hold on, let me do the quotes. Affordable housing for, because it ain't for people like me. Because you sending me flyers every week, people emailing me, texting me, everything. We want to buy your house, buy your house. Why, dude? You ain't offered me what the house value worth right now. I mean, give me $1 million and I'll think about it, because $1 million is what I'm going to need in order to purchase a new house. But I still want to live in the same area, because apparently this the hot spot now. Coming in now,
yes, it is.
Spot. This the hot. Listen, people want to live around Ybor. They want to live around near Busch Gardens. They want to live around Hard Rock. They want to live around the USF. They want to live in the east side.
Okay. And the reason being is because out there where there's no roads to get out,
right?
That right, like I thought at some point they would stop the new construction out in the Riverview, Ruskin, what that is, Sun City area. Mm-hmm. They haven't. Mm-hmm. They look, the last time I was out there when we went to you and Alicia's event, mm-hmm. we clearly seen there was still new developments. And right. I'm like, how the hell?
Because we couldn't put on the black folk out there right next to them Confederate flags. And so we passed a giant Confederate flag on the way out there. I'm like, shoot, I should have carpooled. Dang. I was concerned.
All I know is I just don't see the traffic getting any better. So a lot of individuals, they are trying to get back in and say, and I see that our little downtown is building up too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Look, I'm like, are we trying to convert to the New York status of the traffic because it surely felt that way.
They're making downtown a walkable community. So yeah, that has that New York feel where you can walk everywhere and you get everywhere quickly. But the thing about it is, Tampa, you also need to improve your public transportation. Because if we're gonna say we're gonna make this look like this, everybody ain't willing to ride around on those scooters. Okay, that's not for everybody, especially in this heat. Okay, so what needs to improve, of course, would be the bus transportation. If you're gonna make it like this, man, you can't. I found out quickly when moving to Tampa, within 1 to 2 weeks, I was like, I know I need a car because this bus transportation here is highly unreliable. So that was first off, and then second, they are making the downtown area truly a walkable area, because you see all the festivals coming and all the concerts and all this stuff going on downtown. So downtown is the hot spot now. I think they have the boat parade and all this stuff going on. But understand, none of this is priced for people who've been here for generations. And all these young people, once again, still selling grandma home.
No, grandma house.
So they can sell her house. Grandma Bones ain't got cold in the ground. And they selling the house for nothing. I just want to let y'all people understand something. Let me tell you what $30,000 buys. So I could buy 2 diamond rings and $30,000 has been spent. I just want to let you know that money is not your value. Is in a home. Your value is in property. You can have also your tangible assets. You can have your liquid assets. You can have all that. But you land. It's land. The fact that you see people desperate to take your land from you should let you know it has value. That should let you know. But yep, he's selling it. Oh, here we'll give you like $80,000, $90,000. The house value is over $400,000. What? Well, if anything, learn to negotiate. If anything, negotiate super high. Negotiate to some stupid prices to where they be like, okay, you that desperate? Well, give me my money then. But it's so sad that this affordable house, affordable. Okay, I can't because that triggers me. That triggered me right there.
Then also with the lack of housing for so many of our families that we serve from inner city.
Correct.
Where they're getting the notices, or no, not getting, where they have received the notices that their rents are going to increase by not $200 or $300. Like in the past, it might be, your rent going to increase between $50 to like maximum $200. Nah, they're going for the gusto.
Yeah.
Your rent going to increase by $450, $600.
Yeah.
And you expect people to pull that from where? You have a teacher friends that are living with other teacher friends.
Yes.
With the hope of the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just leave it there.
Mm-hmm. And what you also don't understand is that you are also, and what I read a great article. I wish I remember to give it to Bianca. A great article about how new generation, is the Gen Z and the millennial generation are bankrupting their parents now because they are living at home much longer. So they can't leave because, I mean, you're talking about kids who are 26, 27, entering their 30s that cannot leave the house because they can't afford to buy a house. So now their parents are
Or rent an
supporting them.
apartment. It doesn't make sense
Apartment,
to
yeah.
rent an apartment.
Yeah, they can't get out. They cannot get out. So you now have, now whether, I don't know whether it's a bad thing or a good thing in terms of children of raising, next generation. You have several adults in the house, but I mean, after a while, for your mental health and your sanity, you're grown. You want to get up under your parents' thumb, but you can't do it. You cannot do it. So now everybody in the household is frustrated. We're going back to the COVID feeling again, where we go, nobody can leave the house because we all stuck there because we can't afford to get out and move out of the house.
And all I can see is that the crisis still has never not existed. That's number one. But it was drizzled with, the sweet outcome for those of individuals that were able to get their rent paid during COVID. They were able to get bills paid during COVID. But it seems as though we're all being penalized because of everything of that extra money that went out that was identified as, supports at that time. To where now, okay, all these mega companies that receives millions of dollars still need more. Why? Why do they still need the more? For people that own more than one property, their home and several others, why do you need the extra $500 to $600? Where is the humanity in all of that? You would rather put more strain on an individual that is, income, their income is restricted based upon the type of job they have. Why would you do that? I know greed and gluttony. You're going to have to deal with that. For those people that undergo any harm because of it, you're going to have to deal with that. He's going to remind you of it.
Yes, because those are morally unsound decisions that are being made. And all you can say is, how dare you? You know a person is just struggling to pay their rent and struggling to just feed their children and take care of their family and just do that. And a lot of people out there are just doing their very best. And how dare you sit there and give them an ultimatum? Hey, listen, you either pay this extra $600 or get out. And a lot of times, because they can't afford to live also close to where they originally lived, that's when they end up moving way, way out there. Now you're talking about, imagine the burden you're putting on somebody who already doesn't have reliable transportation. You're taking a child out of a school system or a school district. You're moving more than just one individual because of rent. You're doing a lot of harm and damage, and it's so sad. It's just horrible how sad. And then, of course, now just tacking on to the end of that with the housing, you see how the city of Tampa is funneling all this money into repairing all of these pipes, these old pipes, replacing pipes. Whenever the city starts spending money in places that they never spent money before, you should know gentrification is happening. You just saw when the roundabouts went in. When you saw roundabouts on 34th, stop it. Roundabouts on 34th, and the medians looking all beautiful. And now they're in East Tampa, they're going to replace the pipe. So this ain't for us. Them pipes been crusty for years. Why all of a sudden now? Why?
And then let's not add good old Tico.
Hey, Tico going up. Tico is
extra 10%.
Right. Roll now
y'all got 10 last year. You want 10 more?
10% more?
And you wonder why on top of everybody's house is these, what you call it, the
solar panels.
The solar panels. I have an appointment this upcoming this upcoming week.
Solar panel.
And I done went through the presentation with several different companies.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I'm serious. That extra 10, I can't do it. I don't like the aesthetics of it. I hate it. Mm-hmm. Especially on that good new roof.
Right. Right. I mean, no, I have heard of a company that does it does it in such a way that it's on the back of the house, not attached to the house. I'm going to do a little bit more research, but where it's just
the ones on the ground.
Yeah, but it powers only certain part, like it powers your largest unit. So it would power your water heater, your refrigerator, things that you need. You know what I'm saying? So in case of emergency, aka the whole thing shut down, your AC, your water heater, and like the fridge or something like that, but it doesn't consume the whole household. I think a lot of people in the Virgin Islands have that type of units like that, because remember, they want to be able to remove it when hurricanes come. So I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, but it's not ugly because it doesn't sit on top of your house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
And if any of you all know of a company, a reliable company that installs shutters, the metal panels,
yes.
not individuals that want you to rent them during the hurricane. We're looking for reputable companies to install the widgets in the walls, and then they're easy for women to hang on themselves, or us indigent family members. Well, we can get out there and drill a hole or two to get them hung up.
Right.
So if anybody know of any reputable companies, we have done some research, and that's not what we're looking for. The ones that they want to install is not what we're looking for. So it got to be one of them companies that do it that we just necessarily don't know how to locate.
Right. So I mean, and that's imperative, because as we see that these storm seasons are getting worse and worse, and we keep on, but through the grace of God, we keep on missing a little, because it'll wobble, but we never know. So we want to be prepared as always. We want to be prepared.
So hold on, Denise. Dr. Tia said, what is your take on the solar panels? Well, several of my neighbors have them. And I mean, me having a conversation with one of them, I mean, they just said, they tell no difference. They just know that they have a cheaper light bill. You still have a light bill. Let me be clear on that. You still have a light bill because your solar goes through TECO. Now, that's a whole other conversation to have. I'm like, wait. So my solar energy goes through TECO, and then I just basically pay a fraction of what I would pay. Yeah.
Right. And they hold the power, and then they recycle it, or it's a weird system that it is, but it is.
Why should they be paying me?
Right. That's what I'm saying, because they taking your power, right? And they holding it into the panels, and they redistribute it. So it's weird how that is. I'm not 100%, but hey, that's it. Hey, we good. What I want to talk about, April, can you? Well, I want to mention the summer programs that are coming up, but I definitely want you to speak for a moment on the program that's happening right now, sponsored by Beauty Blueprint for the summer series.
So we are hosting again this year the East Tampa Brain Booster Summer Camp, and we have a home this year at Exciting Faith Alive Family Enrichment Center. So we have a permanent space this year, not floundering around like where we're going next. We do want to send a big shout out to Lena Bean Academy for meeting our needs this past summer. And again, Lena always is a woman of her word. It's not always about money. It's like, what you need, come on, come through. Here you go, figure it out. Don't call me till you're done. Like, she's that type of genuine person. So I thank her for that. And also for all of those that, picked up a child, threw a child, in the back seat, and did so on and so forth. So we made it work. So we're thankful for that. But this year we have secured space, and it goes from June 5th through July. I want to say it's the 27th or the 28th. I don't have it in front of me. But we have some exciting opportunities for our youth. We have our weekly experiential field trips, where we allow our children to go out and do things that are right here in the Tampa Bay area and take away learned experiences that they can apply in their everyday life or in their future lives. And we also are doing the Juneteenth celebration this year that's embedded in the program. And if you all don't know, Denise does a phenomenal job with putting together youth events. She's well known in Hillsborough County for the age group of 20, what it would be now, Denise, 26 and up.
They'd be 26 and older.
For her fashion shows. She's not done one since she's left DW Waters. But I'm here to tell you, the production is phenomenal. And she's also well known for her Juneteenth events over at her school site at Young Middle Magnet. So we're super excited about that. So again, there are limitations to the students, the youth that can participate in this particular camp. We're serving those in the East Tampa area. The zip codes must align with the special interest for our Silver Oaks kids. Yes, our Silver Oaks kids, they take precedence. So with that being said, don't wait till the last minute.
Right.
That's all I want to say. When the spaces filled, they're full, and we're only doing a waiting list of 10 because based on our numbers last year, when the kids got in, they stayed in. So A lot more structure, a lot more hands-on activities this particular summer program. So we're excited. And I do know that the guy is offering one. I can't remember his name now for the high school students. Tavis.
Tavis, yes. That's what's the Gentleman's Quest. Okay, yeah, they have it done. So just look, because I mean the flyers have been posted every couple of days. We keep on posting the flyers over and over and over again on both of our pages, in fact, all of our pages actually. So just look carefully for that, because you'll see all the information there. The links are on there. So just get your child involved in something. Even if they don't register with the programs that we're offering, just make sure that they're registered somewhere, because we see what happens, especially during the breaks. When idle hands are a devil's plaything, idle mind is a devil's playfield. So we do not want to have our children sitting around and doing nothing or getting caught up in areas where it's not good for them. We have to provide, especially since we see that they're in lieu of the new construction that they're doing all over the town, all over East Tampa. They're not constructing anything that's for children.
Right.
See, so that's what we want to talk about as well. So and again, yeah, we looking at these there's a whole bunch of I always want to plug our fantastic and fabulous producer Bianca Goolsby, because Bianca has been giving us
slowly come out of hibernation.
Yes,
slowly, just a little bit.
Bianca has been these nuggets about the apps on the phone. We want you to go back and look at her, and if we're actually going to repost the Ghost app, a podcast that she did on it is. I'm gonna tell you something. I learned so much from Bianca.
It's scary.
Because it's scary how these apps are on your children's phone. And then as you've been seeing all these kids getting either kidnapped or they running away, and because you're thinking they're doing math, or you thinking they reading a book, or you thinking they're doing everything else. All these apps are hiding in other programs on the phone. So please, once again, we're going to implore you, go back and look at it. We're just going to repost it anyway. The Ghost, the podcast on the Ghost apps. Please go look at that, because that is important. Yes, we know they need their they need their phones to stay in contact with parents and relatives, things like that. But the phone is a tool like everything else. They can use it also for educational purposes. And parents, once again, you can check Canvas on the phone. Since you've got a phone. Yeah. Right. Take flight.
Because this quarter is critical for some youth, where if they scored a D or F last quarter, they got to come out that thing with a C or a B.
They must pass it. In
them 4 core content areas: math, language arts, or your English, some type of history, civics, whatever it may be, and your science. Those are mandatory. They must pass those courses, even in the middle school setting. Otherwise, they would be candidates for retention. That's the reality. Because I have never seen administratively placed in middle school or high school. I've never seen it. I've seen it coming from elementary, but I've never seen it done in middle and high school. Have you seen it done before, Denise?
I got a couple of them that administratively, especially the COVID kids.
In middle school.
They went from 6th to 7th to 8th administratively placed. Yes.
Oh wow, I've never seen it.
Oh, I got about 4 of them sitting in my class right now.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I've never seen administratively placed in the middle school setting for me. I've only seen them come where they've been administratively placed, meaning that they were administratively placed in 6th grade or in 7th grade, but I've never been under a principal where they administratively placed somebody. I've never seen it. And that's interesting.
Yeah.
So Dr. Tia says, please tell parents again that they can check their grades on Canvas via their phone. They can check it on their phone, their tablets,
all of that.
Because they can check it on their friend phones and their friends.
It always amazes me how they come get that, and they are so shocked by the F or the shocked by the D. I don't understand and I love that I don't understand. I said, but you got a phone. We showed you at the beginning of the year. We tried at least when they come into my room, I show them over and over again during progress reports and conference. They're coming up. We'll have to talk about that. But we told you over and over again, this is how you do it. So listen, I want you to do it like this. Keep it in your mind like this. just like you check your bank account, if you have, you know, an account, check your bank account.
Because our kids are investments.
You check that canvas daily. You know that, remember the parable with a woman with a lost coin and she swept the house clean looking for that lost coin because that lost coin had value. Okay, so let's do the same thing with our children. Got value. Check the canvas every day, every single day. You should be saying, well, wait a minute. On the side of the screen says this assignment is due, this assignment due, this assignment due. Why you ain't talking to your children about it? Do not get mad at me because he got an F and he passed the due date. Due dates are not suggestions; those are realities. It's sort of like your Tico bill. You know, when you pass the due date, and all of a sudden the paper go from yellow to pink, and all of a sudden now they try to cut your light off. Those are realities. That's all I'm saying. That's it. So let me pull up my thing. I mean, hopefully this ain't.
And also, like we said at the beginning of the school year, right now they already have the calendar out for the 2023,
correct,
2024 school year. Like the calendars don't come out that year. They're out there now. They were put out, I think, in November, December.
Mm-hmm.
You could go right down and add the district calendar dates of when you're going to be out, when tested, you know, like certain stuff. The skeletal is there.
Right.
And then what's specific to your child's school, you go back and add those in.
Correct. Here's
our devices right now.
The calendar, or then you can see the calendar. But that's a calendar. That's my school calendar. So
yeah, like those are essentials now in our technology world. Like the TikTok app, the Facebook app, the whatever other app.
Mm-hmm.
We should have an app, a place where you can just hit that on your phone and go wherever you need to navigate.
So speaking of calendar, so I'm just going to look at real quickly at my school calendar. My school is Young Middle Magnet. We have early releases all the way through the rest of the month every Monday. Okay, we have particularly for this week our spring open house is at 6 p.m. on the 18th. We have progress reports coming out on the 20th. And the math homework hotline is available open that day. And our conference night is next week, Thursday on the 27th. And all of that is accessible if you just go on Young Middle Magnet website. It's right there. They're literally the first thing that pops up, and even before you get to the calendar itself. Okay, so their access to information. Information is so available. I don't understand how people are telling me they don't know how to find something. It's right there. So that a lot of times, you know, hey, listen, all I can say is, what can I tell you? That's all I got. What comments we have right here?
Dr. Tia says, yes, middle school kids have been administrative replaced. Yeah, I learned something new. I thought that didn't happen in middle and high school. So news to me. I've never experienced it. I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned something new today. And also, Denise, don't forget to tell individuals about your Irish 31 nomination.
Oh.
That if you would like to vote for Denise, we will make sure that information is pinned to the comments later on tonight. She has been acknowledged for her tireless work in Hillsborough County, serving as role as educator, mentor, advocate, philanthropist, you name it. It's being done, and the work does not go without sacrificing something else from yourself.
Yeah.
So with that being said, please go and vote for her. And I know that this year, for some reason, they make you sign up. In the past, it wasn't like that. So I was trying to do it on my phone. It kept giving me issues. So my goal is
to like four different email addresses. Just go back in there and sign and vote.
Yeah, please vote for her.
But I really would appreciate that. And thank you. And now and like I said, the nominations and things are just very humbling because I don't really sit there and just calculate I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing the other. And same thing for April. It's just like sometimes when you hear somebody say something about you're just like, I did all that. I'm really shocked. And because you're doing it from the heart, this is where your heart and your passion is. And if you ever knew my story, it's just a lot of things came from pain, were birthed from pain. So therefore, it's just to me, it's just a natural progression of that's self-healing, so but that's good. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you so much for that. And I just can't have about that. We'll have you. And parents, one more time, I want to say for you again, look at your child's test scores. And if you have a hard time explaining, understanding what these test scores are, because I did a rant on Friday about it because I needed visual aids because apparently, people didn't understand until I put some visual aids up. But if you need help understanding the scores, talk to the teachers. I mean, I don't know. I know I'm very open about it, and you can come to me and talk to me about it. But I will explain to you what these scores mean, what your child needs. I think it's so important. Yes, they we can look at testing as two things. One side you can say you're over testing, the other side you can say I just need to monitor and figure out where my child is at so I can help them. But when you look at these scores, when you break down the information, you understand this is where the strengths and weaknesses are. And this is why a lot of times when I say, I don't know if this child should do this or this child should do that, this child needs to be able to focus on one particular thing. So that's why the testing is important. April, I don't really have anything else. What do you have, April?
No, that's basically it. I will say that on those dates that the testing are there, make sure your child is has well rested and arrive on time, because there's nothing more frustrating for a kid to enter a test tired and late, because at that point they are not always welcomed by the adult that's taking them in on campus to say you're late. It's going to be you're late. And we already started testing. So again, help them be great. That's all I can say. And hold on. Gretchen says my book is on Amazon Kindle and paperback. All right, Gretchen, congratulations. You have to share the title of the book and so on and so forth. And yeah, congratulations, Gretchen. Congratulations.
Finally, one last thing, parents. We've passed Christmas, we've passed Thanksgiving, we've passed spring break. Has your child cleaned out their backpack? Take flight. Just take.
I have found myself, after I see the book bag look like it's oozing stuff, I just take the bag, put it in, because I keep the custodial's garbage bags. I tie it in a bag, and I give them a new book bag and tell them, come at the end of the day and get this. And when you get home, clean it out. We're not even cleaning out in the room no more.
Because we don't know what
because the smells be like,
what is going to ooze out of that bag. And if it's wet and viscous, please don't ask me to touch nothing. I'm not doing that. Okay. So, but I really need you to do this. Check, because especially for your children that play sports, have any of those funky clothing items, underwear, drawers, whatever. I bet please make your child clean the bag out and Febreze it and wash it and use a Gain Fling and a Tide Pod and all that. Just everything.
Because my Sam have so much crumbs and food. I bet them damn teachers be like, just get out. I would tell him, get out my room. Get out, Sam. Get out.
So that's all we really got. That's all we really got. It's just, that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah.
So
until we meet again, when we meet again, it would be right at the cuff of saying, here are your children. Here are your children.
All right, everybody. We want to thank you so much. I'm Denise Thomas from Diversity, Equity, Education, Sunshine Education Coalition, Miss D. Reeds, carved out all that, okay? And this young lady to my
April Cobb with Diversity and Equity in Education. And we once again thank Bianca with Teaching for the Culture, because we're also a part of that too. And we hope you all have a phenomenal week, and keep your ears close to what's going on with your children. It's okay to bust in the doors and be like, what you doing, why you doing, how you doing it.
What's up?
That keeps them alive. Y'all have a good week, guys.
Bye.